Welcome back, Shalligators. Today we're gonna talk about something that might feel like a little heavy, but we gotta talk about it, which is apologies. Apologies. I am not an apologizer because I don't feel a lot of guilt over things. So if I apologize to someone, I really mean it. I do not offer fake apologies. I don't do things to smooth something over. If I've upset somebody, I stand by it. Like, I kind of stand by it. Like, oh, did that hurt? It was probably meant to. And therefore, I am very leery of people fake apologizing to me. Just like, ooh, trying to calm me down, settle me down, which actually is gas on the fire. And I'm sure you know this. How do we differentiate between a real apology and something that they're kind of getting their arm twisted to do? How do we know if someone is actually sorry for hurting us? And I'm going to tell you the crucial next part of an apology, beyond just I'm sorry, that you need to hear. Because what we're going to talk about today is Erika Kirk, Charlie Kirk's widow, and her saying that the network Jimmy Kimmel was on, which is called Sinclair, offered an apology to her. And she had some feelings about this. We're gonna recap that whole thing for a minute. And yeah, we're gonna break down apologies. We've got a quick word from today's sponsor.
Ladies, I have a terrible personality. I can't even lie. I'm selfish, I'm a douchebag. But how do I add value and keep people around if it's not gonna be my personality? Oh, that's right. Just be hot. Just be fun and just be hot. But fun is easy. How do I be hot? Is it working out? That sounds like a lot of work. How about some incredible leggings? And there is no brand better for showing off the body that you may or may not have worked for than Halara. Check out these Halara UltraSculpt, SoCinched, high-waisted, scrunch butt, tummy control, pocket-having miracle worker leggings. Yes, all those words are necessary because they literally sculpt everything. I swear they just saved me 6 months of squats. The fabric is wild. It's super soft on the inside, stretchy but breathable, and not see-through even when I bend over, which you're welcome. The Halara woman isn't trying too hard. She's bold, she's confident, and she just kind of, moves through life like she owns the joint. So yeah, if you see me at brunch pretending I just finished CrossFit, mind your business, and check the description box for all of the links to these products.
So ladies, if you want to be a total nightmare person, remember that you can as long as you have the right leggings. Check out Halara's new selection and save a little bit with my code. And remember the motto around here: be awful, look beautiful. Anything is possible. Okay, let's talk about this. So, Charlie Kirk was assassinated about 2 months ago. I did a video on it at the time, and I don't think it had hit me how upset I was by it. Like, I'm not kidding you, for like a good 3 weeks, I was waking up in the middle of the night thinking about it. You know how news shows have those tickers at the bottom that say like stock prices? Mine was just Charlie Kirk, Charlie Kirk, Charlie Kirk. It was like all I could think about. I didn't follow the man. There's a ton of things he said that I'm like, okay, he would probably look at my life and be like, sad. Like no kids, I don't go to school, I'm not married. But I also know, I know a monster when I see one, and I know someone of integrity when I see one. And that day, the monsters won. And it just fucked me up. It fucked me up. And it's still, I can't believe it's been 2 months. It feels like yesterday. And it would mess me up as badly if this had been Bernie Sanders who got killed. Like, that is a man of integrity. That is a man who walks it like he talks it, who has truly devoted his life to his belief system, even though they're very opposite. And I'm like somewhere in the middle. So I was gassed about this whole thing. And I'm sorry, very in favor of all the backlash that came to people who were like celebrating or flipping turning point tables on college campuses or making fun of the assassination. No. I've been a victim of cancel culture. Well, guess what? What goes around comes around. Like, I was fine with that. But I feel like kind of the scapegoat, like the sacrificial lamb to all that backlash, was Jimmy Kimmel. I don't think it was like the worst thing that people were saying. Let's look at what he actually did say, because I didn't watch it, because why the fuck would I? Like, do you guys watch like morning shows and talk shows? I don't know. I don't watch TV at all. So he said 5 days after Charlie died, We've hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points for it. People went all the way off on this because he wasn't MAGA. Was he, Jimmy? No, he wasn't. I wouldn't appreciate a Republican saying that, yeah, if someone killed Bernie Sanders, I would be like, that's also disgusting. Like, stop. Like a loving, devoted father of two, a man who was able to control his emotions and have relevant discourse with people who he wildly disagreed with, who are insanely disrespectful to him, like that fuckface at the Oxford University debate captain. Yeah, I'm a little ashamed to have even spent an ounce of time at Oxford. I mean, I'm not, I'll flex on it forever, but you know what I mean. This kid with his dumpy fucking clothes comes in to debate Charlie Kirk barefoot, who shows up in a suit. And then when Charlie died, he's like, yo, Charlie Kirk's dead, let's go. You better hope I never run into that guy. Not ever. Because you know what? I'll do fine in prison. I'll do fine. I'll meet a lot of great gals. Anyway. So in a recent interview, now that Jimmy's back in the air, Charlie's widow, Erika Kirk, got interviewed, okay? And she said that the Jimmy Kimmel affiliate company, Sinclair Broadcasting Group, reached out and was like, do you want Jimmy to give you an apology? Do you want to be on his show? How can we make this right? Erika, gangsta, was like, tell them thank you. We received their note. This is not our issue. This is not our mess. If you want to say I'm sorry to someone who's grieving, go right ahead. But if that's not in your heart, don't do it. I don't want it. I don't need it. I think that that's excellent. She's basically saying, I don't want your performative ass motherfucking apology to save your own stock prices, okay? You wouldn't be apologizing if people hadn't melted down over what you said. And this is my thing with apologies. Like, if you wrong me, if I hadn't brought up like, that was a fucked up thing to say, would you have arrived at that conclusion yourself? If the answer is no, keep your apology. I don't want to hear it. Because I don't really want to function in this world like someone's emotional parole officer. Now that wasn't very nice. You shouldn't have done that. Why did you give my boyfriend a hand job? I don't know. You know, people know. 90% of the time, something someone has to apologize for is known to them as a trespass. It's known to them as something fucked up that they shouldn't have done. There are times, for sure, that we accidentally, step on someone's emotional foot and we say something and it's misconstrued or we didn't realize that. Fine. I do believe in the power of bringing something to someone's attention if you genuinely do not think they realize it. But then it's like, well, who are you dealing with? Like, who is in your life that they're just running around like saying weird things and offensive stuff and, I still don't even know if that holds water. Like when people said like, hey, Shallon, when you did blah, 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 that was messed up. I'm like, really? I know. The only times that I have had people confront me about needing to apologize, I was like, what? It was something. In Bozeman, I'm just going to share a story because these people aren't my friends anymore. This was like 2 Christmases ago. 2 of my friends here, they're not my friends anymore, literally called me on Christmas Eve to say, by the way, one of the other girls is mad at you. I'm like, why? I'm like racking my brain. I'm like, why? Because you said her husband's name in a way she didn't like. You said her husband's name in a way her sister-in-law said she didn't like. I was like, what? Like, what are you talking? What are these words mixed together in a sentence? How did I say his name? Was it like Jackson Montgomery? Not his name. And they're like, no, you said it like you were pissed. Like he walked in the room and you were like, Jackson Montgomery. I said, you know what I paused and I said, Some people have real problems in this world, okay? This isn't one of them. This is an imagined offense. I am sure as fuck not calling or texting one single person involved in this to say I'm sorry. I didn't do anything wrong. They can get over it or they won't. I don't give a fuck. And in fact, I kind of think at this point they should apologize to me. You both should be apologizing to me for bringing me this ridiculous bag of emotional horseshit on Christmas Eve. I was at the nail salon just screaming, right? And everyone's looking at me. I was like, do you want to get in on this? But my point is, either I am aware that I fucked up or I do not deem my offense worthy of an apology. There are very few instances where I'm like, oh, I am so sorry. And when those happen, I am so incredibly sorry, genuinely from the bottom of my heart. I had no idea that that was upsetting to you. Like, I did not mean to do that. That is completely not how I meant it. And here is what we all want to hear from an apology. So let's take this back to Erika Kirk. Her response is exactly that. It's, you knew what you were saying. You didn't have your whole team of writers, Jimmy Kimmel, write this joke, say it to each other, edit it, tighten up the syntax, pitch it to Jimmy, do it in dress rehearsal, and not understand that this was going to be wildly insulting. That this was going to be salt in a wound of a grieving wife and mother. And a grieving party. Many thousands, hundreds of thousands of people grieving across the United States and truly the world about this senseless act of violence. You didn't know that? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. It's only when people are like, what? That then it was like, oh, how can we make this right? You know how you make it right? You don't do it in the first fucking place. You grow up as a person. You have a little bit of integrity. And I love what Erika said. This is not our mess. This is her version of, I'm not your parole officer. I'm not your teacher. I'm not a rehab for broken men or broken broadcasting networks. I am not responsible to grow you into the person who would not say something like this in the first place. And I think that shows so much poise on her part, because when we are hurt and offended, having an apology feels like this is hopefully going to take all the pain away, right? I mean, who the fuck is Jimmy Kimmel to her? I don't think she cares, right? But in our own life, if someone hurts our feelings, we want to hear an apology. And we think, oh my God, this is going to be the magic wand. It's going to unring the bell, which is not possible. And everything is going to go back to the way it was. But when we are too quick to accept an apology, it actually, I think it further incentivizes people to just keep right on hurting us. Here's why. Talk is cheap. Talk is so cheap. You can say anything. You can just lie and kick the can down the road and make hollow promises. You're probably never gonna have to feel blah, 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 blah. And never is that more clearly demonstrated than with an apology. Sorry I cheated on you. I've had guys do this. They've come to me, they've confessed they've cheated, and they're sorry. My last relationship imploded because he was mean sometimes. We would have these horrible blow-ups, and he'd be like, I'm sorry. And finally, I'm like, I don't want to hear that. I want to know why you have this hair-trigger temper. That's what I want to know. Because at some point, if you have encountered like a boyfriend or a sister or whatever, where the same problem like keeps repeating and you have multiple I'm sorries, you know this feeling where they make your skin crawl. They actually make you more angry. Because here is the crucial part of an apology. It's not the I'm sorry. It is the awareness that is supposed to be attached to that I'm sorry. It's I am sorry I did this, comma, that's just the preamble, comma. Here's why I acted like that. Here's what was going on in my life, my heart, my mind, in the overall dynamic of our relationship. It wasn't about the can of beans you opened wrong. It was about, it wasn't about the secretary. It wasn't about the hand job. It was about something, something, something. Why do we need that part? Why is that the only actual part of an apology that matters? Because that is the part that tells our risk machine brain, okay, now there's a shot this won't happen again. Because this person is demonstrating awareness. And we all know you can't change what you don't acknowledge. And so when someone is just being like, I'm sorry, all I hear is, there's no change because there's no acknowledgement. So if I accept your apology, all I'm doing is making myself a fucking coward and a loser who you are going to know on some subconscious level, you can fuck up like this again. I can blow up on her again. I can cheat on her again. Because I guess all I had to do is be like, I'm sorry. Even if they meant it. Even if they really meant it. I don't give a fuck if you meant it. You're in pain, I'm in pain. I don't care about your pain, I care about my pain. This whole thing is about my pain, not your pain. You want to assuage my pain? Figure out what is the root of yours. And if we don't force them, I don't want to say, and if we just be like, okay, well, he apologized. How low is the price on your forgiveness? Forgiveness is a very, I don't know, weird concept to me. I don't forgive. Yeah, I don't forgive. Period. The end of the video. I don't forgive. And I absolutely don't forget. I don't forget. We've done videos on forgiveness before, and every time I'm like, this will be the one where like we all chat in the comments and the girls are like, here's what forgiveness means. And I'm like, I got it. I'm a forgiveness person. It's never happened. I'm just not gonna get there. The people I forgive, it's because, I mean, if I do like let things go, it's because there is so much data in the positive to balance out this negative shitty thing they did. Someone hurt my feelings, someone did something mean to me. There has to be literally years, decades of data that they truly, truly care about me to make me like strike that offense off the record. You know what I mean? But that to me is all I can think of as forgiveness. So if you're new in my life and you're mean to me, adios. That's why I'm quick to break up with people. It's like, what elasticity are you relying on here? We just talked about this in the video about, is it embarrassing to have a boyfriend? Like, do not prey on an elasticity that you have not cultivated. Do not hope for the scaffolding of an enmeshment that you have not built. I don't know you like that. We've been on 6 dates and you acted up on one of them? That is a bad percentage. So if I do forgive, that's why. Because this person has proved that like 99 times out of 100, they're good. But I never forget. And the thing I don't forget is not what I hear. It's not what I see. It's what I don't see. It's what I don't hear. Which is, here's why I acted like that. I'm not saying that's an excuse. I'm not saying that you should let it go because I was in a bad place. But I want you to know, me lashing out at you like that at Pizza Hut was not about you. That was about me. And I took it out on you because you were the first person I saw, and I'm so sorry. Okay. I'm kind of willing to strike that from the record. I'm a little bit more inclined to do that. But I'm sorry that I threw those boiled eggs at you at the salad bar. No, I know it was wrong. When people say, I know it was wrong. What are you, 4 years old? Of course you know it's wrong. Have you honestly met an adult who genuinely does not know the difference between right or wrong? Exactly. Who, I mean, on God, doesn't know that what they're saying is insulting or inappropriate or demeaning? If you think you're like, well, I mean, he didn't know that I'm so sensitive about my career, and when he was like making fun of me about it, This is what you do. You take the story and you spread it around. You workshop it to other people. You tell them. And if the majority of them are like, he said that? Wow. Then, so most people do know that that's a fucked up thing to say, right? That's actually not appropriate. So then let's go back to the person you're dealing with, your boyfriend or whoever. You're either telling me there's only a few things that are going on. This man absolutely knew. He absolutely knew. He just didn't care. He thought you would forgive him or let it go, probably because he has this bank of positive data that says you let things go. That's option number one. Option number two, he is that retarded. Like, which is worse here? He's a monster or he's retarded? How about this third option? You don't have to be with this person. You have more options than villain or idiot. What? You have more options than this. And listen, the holidays are coming. We're about to be with family, and the performative family apology. Is there anything worse? I was with one of my friend's moms the other day, and she was talking about like a cousin, an aunt, something. An adult daughter had cut off her adult mother. She was just like done, like cut her out of her life. Like cut her sister out, like was just like, just over it. And the mom who got cut off was apparently like, I told her I'm sorry for the things that I've done as a mother. And I said, to these people, I said, okay, she might say, I'm sorry for what I did as a mother. Do you know how it probably actually came out to that daughter? Well, Katrina, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I wasn't at every single volleyball game. I'm sorry that we couldn't get you a pony for your 9th birthday party. I'm sorry that your father and I just wouldn't send you to boarding school in Switzerland. That's not the same. And boy, oh boy, talk about gas on a fire. Talk about gas on a fire. There is nothing more crazy making than, well, I'm sorry you feel this way. I'm sorry you have a bad reaction to my mistreating you. I'm sorry you're so fucking crazy. I'm sorry you're so fucking crazy. Well, I'm sorry I'm not perfect. Don't you love that one? When someone hands it, well, I'm sorry I'm not perfect, Shallon. First of all, I'm very sorry too. It's annoying how imperfect you are. Number two, shut the fuck up. There's nothing I hate more than people who argue a point you're not making. And you're like, I didn't ask you to be perfect. And this is what I say. This is my response when people have handed me that. Well, you know what? I'm sorry I'm not perfect. I'm sorry I'm not perfect. I say, I never said that you had to be. Please do not put words in my mouth. You don't have to be perfect, but you do have to be You do have to be consistent. You do have to be respectful. You do have to communicate like an adult. You do have to show up and follow through. You do have to tell the truth. Okay? And if you deem that thing, let's say it's respect, you have to speak to me with respect as an adult, because I am. If you put that very basic human behavior and requirement under the umbrella of unattainable perfection, then we've got a much larger problem here. There are a million things I don't bring up. I am bringing this up because it matters, because it has crossed a line with me. And perhaps your line is in a different place. And if I cross a line with you, even if I don't agree with where that line is, the covenant of this relationship is I stop and I listen. And that your boundaries don't have to be my boundaries. I give that to you. I pledge that to you. If you cannot give that back to me, then I don't really know what we're doing here. So here's how to know if someone is handing you a bullshit ass apology, right? Ask yourself, look at them and ask yourself, what would they lose if I don't accept their apology? Or if they just don't apologize at all? The ideal answer actually is nothing. You want someone who has kind of like no skin in the game, and so they're not apologizing so you'll let them back in the house, so you won't fire them, so they get their show reinstated. You want someone who has arrived at the conclusion of like, ugh, oh, that was so bad, all on their own, on their conscience, on their integrity, on their brand of, I think that I move through the world like this, but that was outside of how I want to see myself. That was outside of my brand as a person. That was bad. That was really bad. Or at the time I didn't think so, but now that I see the consequences of my action, damn. You want someone who doesn't have to give you an apology. That's the ultimate. They don't have to be doing this. They are saying this and doing this truly from their own innate calibration system that was thrown off by their behavior and or your reaction to it. Basically, they give a fuck. Here's another way you spot a fake apology. Vague phrases. I regret some things. Mistakes were made. There's a lack of I phrases, right? There's a lack of I. When someone is apologizing, the biggest word you should hear is I. When someone is fake apologizing or when they're not sorry, the word you're gonna hear is you. I'm sorry you felt upset. Your feeling, you this, your reaction, you. It's actually just another attack. When they're sorry, they're going to say, I fucked up, I hurt you, I take responsibility, I was in a bad place, I was this, I was that. I am committed to doing better. I accept your healing time and processing time throughout this. A lot of times, when people say I a lot, you're just getting like a narcissistic monologue. This is one of the rare times you kind of do want it to focus on them because they are the offender. They're the offender. However, this is the big asterisk. When they're making these I statements, it should not veer into how this has impacted them, right? That's not what you want. There's a big difference. It's subtle, but it is important between I fucked up, I take ownership, I hurt you, and this has just been so hard for me to deal with, and I cheated on you, and I've just been in tatters, and I can't sleep, and I can't eat, and you're my whole world. That's not about you and your pain. That's about them and their pain. And it's not supposed to be. And this goes back to Erika Kirk's thing. This isn't my mess. This isn't my mess. You're in pain? I bet you are. I am not responsible for rescuing you. And the broadcasting company did something that just drives me fucking nuts. If you've ever been cheated on, you will know that if a man is sorry, he comes to you, and he says exactly what Sinclair Broadcasting said. What can we do to make this right? How can I make this right? My ex said that to me one time, and I lost it. I'm like, I don't know. What, do you think I have a binder? I have no fucking idea what you can do to make this right. And why on earth should this be my job? My job is just to pick up the pieces of this shattered trust, this fake relationship, because I don't believe that you were ever invested. Like you've stolen not only our future, you've actually tainted all of our past memories. And while I'm doing that, with all my extra time in the day, I need to come up with like a bullet point outline for you on how you can make this right. Figure it the fuck out yourself. Drives me insane. What can I do? And yet, a lot of times when we apologize, we say that exact thing. Tell me what I can do to make this right. What do you need from me? I think that's better phrasing. Tell me what you need from me. Is it space? And maybe give some options. Is it space? Is it access to my phone 24/7? Is it me going to therapy? Like, whatever it is you're willing to do, maybe that's how you come at it. But when I'm in pain, suddenly now I'm your cleanup crew. To me, that is like, hey, I can't hold the guilt of what I did. Can I give it to you? Do you want to hold it? Do you want to hold it? No, you can keep it. You can keep it. Is it messy? Is it sticky? Oh, yeah. That's why I didn't want to hold it, because it's gross. That to me is not a person who's sorry. I mean, they are, but it's not a forward kind of sorry. It's a self-pitying sorry. Of course they're sorry. They're in pain. And you know what people are mostly sorry about? Consequences. Again, do you think Jimmy Kimmel would have woken up one day and been like, ugh, that was bad? If everyone on Twitter had been like, yay, father of two dead for no reason, would he have been like, you guys, that was fucked up. Should we go off the air for 2 weeks and just really think about what we did? No. No. It's like the man who's sorry he's cheating. Did that happen to come after he was caught? Oh, it did? Oh, wow. Who knew? Who could have predicted that? That's crazy. So what you do when you're confronted with apologies and you might not know if they're genuine, the question you ask, ideally, it's gonna come, I'm sorry, and here's why I did that. And here's what I am going to do to ensure I don't do things like that anymore, to you or to anyone. I'm gonna make some changes in my life. I'm gonna look at my own behavior. I'm gonna ask myself, why am I so punchy about certain topics? Is there like a root cause to this? If that's not happening, the question you ask is, tell me why this won't happen again. And you have to listen. You have got to listen. I mean, you don't, but you're gonna be here again. And you're gonna be thinking this video and be like, damn it. You have to listen. People, like, they lie, but they don't. You know what I mean? People are constantly showing us who they are. They're constantly showing us who they are. It's on us to clock it. So if you say, why won't this happen again? And they're like, because I know it was inappropriate. I know that I shouldn't act like that. You knew that before you did it. That's not the answer. That's not it. That fixes nothing. That actually makes me more nervous. The right answer is, because this isn't gonna happen again, because I'm gonna start doing like this shadow work journal, or take that class, or go to therapy, or talk to my parents about something. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to spend some time digging into the root of why I do this. And I don't have the answers right now, but listen, you can look me in the eye and I'm gonna make a promise to you that I will get those answers. And you will see them. You will see that evolution. And that's how I will rebuild trust with you. It's not gonna be lip service, and I understand that it's not gonna be a quick fix. And I am willing, as the perpetrator here, as the Jimmy Kimmel, to sit in the ick and to take my lumps and to be in the doghouse until that trust regrows. That's what I'm gonna do. That's why this isn't gonna happen again. Because I'm not trying to wriggle out of the consequences. This sucks right now, and I am allowing it to suck. How often do we hear that? How often do we hear that? I can count on one hand. I mean, the only person in my life who has consistently like apologized in that way is my mother. She's an incredibly growth-based person, and that's why she's my best friend. That's why we have a good relationship, because I fundamentally trust her. I trust her. And she set a very good example for me, that like, if I'm gonna apologize, I say exactly that to someone if I've hurt them. Like, I get it. I'm gonna do what it takes. And we're gonna come out the other side of this with a different dynamic, because I will be a better person. And you might be saying, so what am I supposed to do? If I don't get these perfect apologies, do I just cut someone off? Shallon, not everyone's a great communicator. You know, not everyone is like so self-aware. I know that. Yeah, we all know that. Do you want them around? I don't know. Like, do you though? Do you want someone around who is not willing to do the introspection that you are already doing about this issue? When someone cheats on you, you sit there and you're like, why did he do this? Why did he do this? If you can go into your like analytical mind palace about something, why are you telling yourself that they can't? I don't know. And then it comes back to the talking dog thing. I always say, it's like, I could ask Cowboy a question in any language, forcefully, kindly, simple question. He's never going to answer. He's just never going to answer because he's a dog, and he will stomp his little paws and he's at max capacity. And if I'm waiting for him to answer, I'm going to be waiting a very long time. And instead, I'm like, you're never going to tell me how to cook a chicken. I have to move on and get that need met elsewhere. Okay. So if you're dealing with someone who truly cannot get to the level of introspection and growth and maturity that you need them to be at, I mean, yeah. Do you have an obligation to keep this person around? When you start looking at things truly with that option of ruthlessness, you'd be shocked how many people really you can let go of. I mean, honestly. And it's brutal. It is brutal. Like the more evolved you get, the smaller your circle gets. The most high value women I know are like, they slash and burn people who don't demonstrate growth, you know? And it's like, it's not even like, oh, I hate my cousin. It's like, listen, she just isn't where I'm at. And I might not like block her number, but she's gonna be all the way at arm's length. She's gonna be way on that back burner. I'm not gonna expect very much from her, so I'm not gonna invest very much in that relationship. It's a bad ROI. But you will find that, like, if you allow yourself to say, that's not good enough for me. That's not good enough. You'd be surprised at how many people you can let go of and clean house and make room for people who are going to pull up for you and who are going to have the cognition to be like, why did I do that? Or you know what? They won't even do it in the first place. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if they built a friend who never talked shit about you? They do. They make them. Can you imagine if they made a faithful man? They do. They're out there. They're hard to find. They're like those weird labubus, but they are out there. But is there room in your life for those people to enter? Or are you so busy trying to get the dog to talk? Let me know what you guys have to say about this. Yeah. Do you apologize a lot? If you find yourself as like an apologizer, you need Evil Week, okay? You need Evil Week. Come into the Shallon. This year, it's a school for sociopaths. It is all about guilt and people pleasing and performing and basically living your life for other people or under their rules. And no, it is time to step in the most authentic version of you. It's time to unlock it. If not now, when? Do you really want to go through another year, be here next November being like, oh, fuck, another 12 months of performing, saying yes, people pleasing, and getting really nothing for it except for burnt out and bitter? You're worth more than that, baby girl. I promise. Okay, all right, Shalligators. I'll see you later. Don't forget to watch my podcast, or listen to my podcast, I'm sorry, Crowned and Canceled. We've got new episodes every Thursday, all free on Apple and Spotify and everywhere you get your podcast.